Hey folks, Brendan back with another video to help support you through the police recruitment process. Actually, this one is for those of you who've got beyond the police recruitment process and now you're thinking about what next. You're in the job and you're thinking about promotion. So how do I start preparing myself for the rank of sergeant? This was a question asked in one of the weekly workshops for the Enforced Advancement group. There's a link below to that group, by the way. This is a group of serving officers who meet every week. We meet for 2 hours virtually, where we discuss conundrums, problems, issues that you've got in terms of progressing your career, in the main for promotion, but often about specialist interviews and transfer interviews. And one of the individuals is someone who's a rejoiner. So she's already been in the police and now she is rejoining the police after a 15-year gap. She's got an enormous amount of experience and she's got a limited amount of time left in her career. And so one of the first questions that she's asked is, how do I start preparing myself for day one for the rank of sergeant? And I'm not going to look at the sergeant's exam because that's a complete mystery to me now. I've already gone through different forms of exams to get promoted in my time, and they keep changing and I can't keep up with the changes. Other people deal with those, other people will help you with those, and they're really good at it. What I'm good at is making sure that you pass the promotion board and that making sure that your application actually gets through to the point where you get invited for a promotion board. Now, there's one big mistake that so many of you make when it comes to promotion or getting ready for a specialist interview. And what you tend to do is and it's not your fault. I mean, I know so many people have done this in the past, and so many people will continue doing it in the future because you're very much focused on the here and now. But you've not got this vision for the future. So many people, when I ask them, where are you going to be in 5 years' time? They don't know. They'll just say, well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Where are you going to be in 2 years' time? Well, roll the dice, see what happens. The policing career that you're in is not going to design an awesome one for you. You've got to design it yourself. So one of the things that we take a look at is, what is it I want to be? In 2 years' time, what will I be? What will I be doing? What am I awesome at? And so how can I play to my awesome? Forget all of that PDR stuff about developing your weaknesses. Why would you focus on your weaknesses? Focus on your strengths, focus on the things that are going to enable you to be awesome, because there's no way you're going to go into a role that plays to your weaknesses anyway. So play to your strengths, develop your strengths, set your sight on a compelling goal and drive yourself towards it. So that's what we're going to do with this individual. We're going to coach them every week to ensure that they are driven. We're going to hold them to account to make sure that they're driven towards the point where they're going to get promoted to the rank of sergeant. So that's their vision. So opposed to doing what most people do, we're going to prepare in advance. What a lot of people do is they get their application form and then they look back on their past and think, what have I done? What have I done to answer these questions? And they can't remember, or if they do remember, the detail is vague and hazy. And that is very, very typical. We're going to get around that by making sure that we have got so much evidence that we are guaranteed that our application form is going to get through, and we're pretty much guaranteed that we're going to pass the board. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to hack the process. What do I mean by that? Well, we're going to get hold of this. This is the College of Policing policing professional profile for the rank of sergeant. It tells you what the role purpose is, and it tells you about the key accountabilities. These key accountabilities here will form the basis of the questions on your application form, and they will form the basis of the questions on your promotion board. I know this because I've seen the feedback from so many of you who've either succeeded or you've failed at the promotion board, and the feedback tends to be around these key accountabilities. So if this is what you're going to get asked about, it makes sense, does it not, to start preparing now for that moment. We're going to start doing these things, and we're going to start pushing ourselves and challenging ourselves to do these things in the key accountabilities, because do this and you are going to nail your application form. I'll give you some examples. Supervise a team, managing their well-being and welfare, development and ensuring high levels of motivation. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, I've got to be acting to do that. No, you do not. So if you're on a neighbourhood team, if you've got PCSOs, if you have, take some of the pressure off the sergeant and manage a small team of PCSOs on their behalf, become like the shift corporal. If you are on a team that doesn't have PCSOs, that's fine, because you're still going to have officers who are junior in service to you, or even if they're not junior in service to you, may be struggling with something. And you're going to be the go-to person to help with their development and to help with any welfare issues or well-being issues that they've got. Become a tutor constable, or if you're not in a position to become a tutor constable, if you might be in the role of a detective or other specialist niche area, you will still have officers on your team who need support. You don't have to have stripes to give people support. So you're going to be the go-to person to supervise them in terms of their well-being and welfare and their development, and ensure higher levels of motivation. So you're the role model who never says TJF. You're the role model who always has a positive attitude towards the role. You give 120% without being asked to do so, because your attitude and your behaviour, once you're a sergeant, will be reflected by your team. Think about it, folks. You've come across teams that are generally grumpy. I can guarantee you that the reason why the team is grumpy is because their sergeant's grumpy. Grumpy sergeant equals grumpy team. Amazing, awesome sergeant who feels like they can walk through walls and everyone just thinks they're a superhero equals a team full of superheroes who believe they can walk through walls. I'm right, aren't I? So you've got to be that positive role model all the way through. You want to be a sergeant? You've got to step up. You step up now. Not when you get the stripes, you step up now. This moment, now, today. This is when you step up. Makes sense? What else have we got? Support the assessment of individuals, assessing capabilities and development needs. Again, that's something you can do as a PC. Coordinate and control appropriate frontline responses and investigations, allocating resources, directing activities, managing risks and reviewing progress to deliver an effective response. Oh, there's more to it, but I'm running out of breath. Long sentence. Basically, are you the one who can take control of operational situations? Do you have to be a sergeant to do that? No, you don't. Some of the members of the Enforce Advancement Group have given outstanding examples of where they've stepped up as a constable to take the lead at a road traffic collision or a serious crime incident, or they've been proactive in terms of arranging and developing intelligence and arranging for appropriate resources to come and support them in an operation they put together to tackle a particular issue. Being proactive as opposed to waiting for things to happen. And this gives you the opportunity to manage and support individuals and manage resources and give super answers to that question. Anyway, there's more to it. The other thing that's going to really help you is one of these, £1.50. This is your diary. This is where you record it. You record all of those examples of when you've done those things in one of these. So when it comes to you putting together your application form, you've got everything you need. And it's all detailed because you're going to structure everything in that diary in this way. This was the situation. If no one got a grip of it, this would be the impact on individuals, on me, on the team, on the organisation, on communities. What did you aim to achieve? Be specific. And what options did you consider? And why did you choose the rationale for the option that you chose? What was the rationale behind it? What did you do? And how did you do it? How did you manage resources? How did you manage people? How did you delegate, persuade? How did you develop the needs of others, develop your awareness of the needs of others? What sort of questions did you ask? That sort of thing. A lot of how, because that's going to be the bulk of your answer. And then we move into the result. Don't try and persuade me on an interview board that everything you touch turns to gold, because the person on the interview board has been in the same place as you. They know that things go pear-shaped. Why? Because of people. You introduce people into anything in the police and things go pear-shaped, or they don't go to plan. So write down what went well and why, and write down what didn't go well and what you'd do about it in the future to make sure it did go well. So that's your learning. And there you go, folks. That's your journal. Do those things and you will prepare yourself for the rank of sergeant, inspector, specialist role, doesn't matter what it is. We hack the system. We play to our strengths. We don't play to our weaknesses. We still do the PDR because the PDR needs doing, especially when it's going to form the basis of your pay. But the PDR is backwards looking, whereas this, creating the vision for the future and then working towards it, is forward facing. That sounds like an interview question, doesn't it? But it is, it's forward facing. So hopefully this makes sense, folks, and hopefully this is inspiring you to start thinking about what next. Because like I said before, no one is going to create your perfect career. You've got to create that perfect career for yourself. No one will do it. If you want an amazing, successful and fulfilling career, design it yourself. Don't wait for your PDR. Get on with it now, today. You know what you're good at. You know what's awesome. You know what you're going to be awesome at. Go and be that awesome. I'll leave you on that, folks, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye for now.